Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku.co daily futures market review for the trading day ending Wednesday, August 17th. Firstly to the bonds and US 30 bond futures on the daily charts, and the market bouncing off support at 170.26. Very important level in the recent past, previous resistance turning into support, tested on multiple occasions, and today's trading has been no different, with the sellers losing commitment down around there and the buyers returning into the market very strongly with a white body candle. No change of trend here in this candle, but certainly a very good possibility. We are actually seeing that occur in this new session as it is trading. Buyers have taken control away from sellers. Problem here with the buyers is going to be this very, very strong resistance overhead, with the Tenkan-sen, the Kijun-sen and the top of the cloud all around the same area, extending up to about 172.24. It does mean that the buyers are going to have to be very, very strong to close back outside of the Ichimoku cloud. Now, this is the third consecutive day we have closed within the cloud, and it certainly does suggest that strong bullish bias that we had in that longer term time frame has probably ended, and we may eventually see this market transition into a downtrending phase with a breakout to the downside. Still not sure that that's going to happen, because we are only ever convinced that something has happened after we do see confirmation of it, so still probably a long way until anything like that breaks out. We could eventually see the market break out to the upside, but with this overhead resistance here close by, the buyers will need to show some strength, and even if they do, strong resistance up around this 173.25 region. Now, if we just look at this pattern that's forming here, and something of a very big symmetrical triangle has been forming. It is very large, and for the trend leading into it, it just does look a little bit large. I'd like to see nice proportion with between trend and these congestion area patterns, and just the depth of the trend leading into it is almost about half of the width of the pattern, so not an ideal pattern. But the implications are the same, and we will be looking for a breakout either to the upside or to the downside. Obviously, a breakout to the upside would be much more significant, and by breakout I also mean we have to have a close outside of either the upper or the lower barrier for completion of the pattern. It has to be a close, not just the market testing outside of there. But it would be more significant, because it would mean that we may be trading above the cloud, could have uptrending activity in all three time frames, and could see significant extension to the upside. Now, that close above there, in terms of what I was saying before, would mean that we have seen the buyers return with some strength, and we then could see more upside. If it's to the downside and we do close below that lower barrier, obviously the extent of the move to the downside may be limited by the support at the bottom of the Ichimoku cloud at the moment. So the more significant manifestation of this largish triangle type pattern would be a breakout to the upside rather than the downside. Now, just looking at our bands here on the daily charts, and we are still trading within the bands. Previously we saw that bearish breakout to the downside below the squeeze bands, lack of follow through, trading back within the bands, mean reverting at the moment. Watching that middle of the bands to hold as resistance, 172.05. If we do trade through there, looking to the upper band to hold as resistance as well, 173.07. Still waiting for a breakout in either direction. The bands are squeezed. It means that the market is ready for action. Next to NYMEX oil, and here we see continuation of the trend to the upside. Another white body candle, buyers in control. Buyers in control, and closing above the 46.72 level of previous resistance. This was a region where we saw strong selling in the past, and this bullish breakout up above here does suggest we certainly could see further upside. If you look at this new candle as it's developing, it has gapped up and is trading just slightly around, just above the Ichimoku cloud. So this break of this resistance, 46.72, may have been significant. If we are going to see sustained activity above the Ichimoku cloud, I'd like to see a strong bullish breakout, bullish follow through, so more activity required for this to play out. But we could eventually see NYMEX oil trending back up to around that round number $50 level. So that's going to be an important move if it does eventuate. If we do see any selling coming in this candle it is developing, looking to 46.72 to now hold a support, and that could be some important trading if it does trade around there. In terms of the faster timeframes, good solid bull market in the medium and fast term time frames, and now at the moment, as we're trading here with this new candle, it may end up being supported by the Chica span if we do close up around these levels. With the previous candle that has finished trading, that's closing just around the price action, so not confirming the bullishness there, but a lot depends on how we react for the next day's trading. And if we look at the bands, and trading above the bands here in a bullish manner suggests that we do have that strong bullish tone. The bands are starting to widen, so we're seeing trending activity with volatility coming into it. So volatility is increasing because of this trending activity and moving away from the mean here. The bands, when we saw the breakout, weren't squeezed, and this suggests that the uptrending activity may be limited. If we do see any retracement, looking to the upper band at 45.21 to hold as strong support.